I'm here at the Ethiopian Embassy for the 27th Ethiopian National Day celebration.
በኢትዮጵያ ትንሣኤ ዘመነ ሁለቱ
What does the 27th National Day mean for Ethiopians?
The National Day for Ethiopia is not like the Independence Day of some of our countries, our brothers in Africa, when they got their independence from colonialists. But this is the time that the military government, dictatorial military government, was removed through armed struggle in Ethiopia 27 years ago. So the National Day for us is this day the military was removed from power. Otherwise, the country is about 3,000, 4,000 years old. It's an old civilization with uninterrupted state tradition in the country.
And this day couldn't come anytime soon because now we've been told that the state of emergency has been lifted off Ethiopia.
Yes, the state of emergency has been released, and now people will definitely feel happy that it has been lifted, so people could enjoy all their rights that have been suspended for some time. Yes.
And I heard you whilst you were giving your speech, you were saying it's more or less a new dawn for Ethiopia. You spoke of Ethiopia's airlines in operation. If you can just elaborate on that for us.
Ethiopia is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and investment is coming. Poverty has been greatly reduced to about 20%. This is not a small number. We have to really work hard, and we have a very vibrant economy in the urban areas, as well as agro-processing industry in the rural areas, and education and health. About a third of the population at school, in school and universities and training institutions. Yes, so the whole country is really mobilized for development. Ethiopian Airlines is one of the success stories in the country, and when many airline companies are facing problem, Ethiopian Airlines is growing and making a profit, and I think it's a good example for how an airline company in a developing country like Ethiopia can be managed and become a success story in a developing country. At the moment, Ethiopian Airlines is has 10 flights added to London as we speak. So 10 flights a week, every day, plus another 3 flights on 3 additional days and additional flights. And then as of September, Ethiopian Airlines will also be flying into Manchester. And that will be, I think, more opportunity for investors, to come to Ethiopia to invest.
And also one more thing, which is very, very important. Ethiopia and Eritrea, we've seen that now is a new dawn for both countries.
Ethiopia is a very peaceful country. People are very peace-loving people, really. And therefore that it's important that as we fight against backwardness and poverty, it's important that all the neighboring countries are linked up through infrastructure, trade, investment, economic integration, eventually leading to political integration, not only in the East Africa region, but also the whole of Africa. We have this vision 23, the Africa vision of 2063, And so, in the light of focusing on poverty elimination, development, mutual development of all countries, my government and the people of Ethiopia, I think that peace is very important. It has offered this call for solving this problem along the lines that have been put in place really by agreements in Algeria and the Arbitration Commission.
Yeah, I just finally wanted to touch on that. How instrumental has the African Union been in bringing about this peace between Ethiopia and Eritrea?
I think it's the people of the two countries. You see, people always want peace, and it's the wish of the people that's very important. But the countries and the African Union and others have tried, but the time has now come for the people to really make this decision and focus on development.
This is the oldest African embassy in London, so it has a special place in the London diplomatic circuit. And the Ethiopian National Day is an important event, so that's why I turned up.
And if you look at the country Ethiopia now, with the progress the country has made, where do you see Ethiopia heading now?
Well, it's got impressive growth rates, and the ambassador, Haile Michael, in his presentation this evening, reminded us that it's probably the highest growth rate projected by the International Monetary Fund for Africa this year. So, look, this is an impressive trajectory, especially if you look at the number of Ethiopians that have been lifted out of poverty over the last 20 years.
Now, you touched on poverty, and this is something that is across the continent, and many try to deal with it, but it seems to be failing. What do you think can be done differently this time, especially with Ethiopia?
It's a mixture of strategies, I think. So Ethiopia is a developmental state. There are issues around that too. There has been some authoritarianism, although the good news is a lot of prisoners are being released. We heard about that tonight. And so there is some opening up at the moment. But behind it also is about developmental vision. And international aid partners are important as part of that, but so is leadership and private sector growth. And I think that's what's quite interesting about Ethiopia. But at the end of the day, it is about leadership, developmental vision, and strong institutions, and a focus also at ensuring that corruption is too rampant. And I think that's why Ethiopia is more successful than a number of African countries.
I like a good celebration, but I also like it when there's a really good reason for the celebration. And Ethiopia is going through an exciting time at the moment. The new president has made some incredible changes, consolidating his ideas regarding unity and openness and reconciliation. So there is real reason to celebrate, The Prime Minister has released people political prisoners from prison, and it is an exciting time. There is a real sense of positivity, positive change that seems to be happening, and it's echoing out to the diaspora around the world, which is wonderful. The president seems to be reaching out to the diaspora as well. Oh man, it's the 27th National Day of Ethiopia, and it just makes me so proud to be a part of this,